Son wild, son. I thought about someone. I said, man, I don't know how my son got like that, man.
You know how you got.
Yeah, right. What am I talking about? Because I be telling him, I said, yo, son, why you act like that, man? He said, what you think? I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean, that's like me asking my daughter or any of my sons why they act the way they act.
Nah,
they got that shit clean.
My son a dead ass comedian, son. And when I see him on his pod, he be the same thing.
Yo, let's jump right into it. What's going on? It's your boy TALLSHON. TS is who I am.
Jake Dad is who I am.
You now tuned in to a new episode of the Black Male Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. And if you didn't, so what?
Nah, you did. If you didn't, that's cap. That's cap.
I'm trying not to clear my throat as much. Pause. On the pod.
Yeah, start off crazy.
Start this shit
off. It's gonna be a good
right.
one. He's starting off crazy. He's starting off with the, hey, yo. I go get to it then.
Drinking this big ass bottle of damn. What's it? Hey, also stop sending me. Just like I need to stop sending you videos of them two them two Euro podcasters. Don't send me nothing with that nigga in it no more. Tell me no, I didn't have 4 fingers in my butt.
Yo, listen. I accept what you're saying, but you have to give me a pass on that one.
Okay.
Because that was hilarious to me.
That was crazy,
because dude was like, she's acting like she put 3 fingers in there.
Right.
Wait a minute.
But she put fingers in there.
Two is okay? Son, I was so out the loop, man. Like, maybe I'm the old guy in the room. Is that what y'all doing?
Bro,
no judgment. No judgment.
On there with Angela Yee talking about that shit, and I'm like, what we doing today?
I think, and I'll say this about podcasts. This is my problem with podcasts, and also is with my problem with hip hop. Everything is shock value based.
Yeah, yes.
Certain things in life should be sacred. Certain uncomfortable conversations are necessary. But popularity a lot of times is based on how shocking you can be with your content.
Right.
Like, men are actually doing shows with women talking about getting fingers in their ass.
Yeah.
Like, that's the topic.
No, that's the full discussion.
You know what I'm saying? Full discussion, no disclaimer. 2 men talking about how many fingers they take in their butt. And these are heterosexual males.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not judging anybody's lifestyle, but it's crazy to me that that's where we're at.
It went from getting your ass ate to now.
Getting your ass ate now is nothing.
I know, to now getting your butt fingered.
Wow. And the dude said, I don't know why she's acting like she put 3 fingers in there.
Angela Yee said.
She said she doesn't like fingers.
No, Angela Yee said? You sure it wasn't 3?
Yeah, how do you know how many? I don't want to know, bro. And then the one guy saying he didn't like the finger. It just felt weird. Them 2 guys are strange.
They're hilarious, though, too.
But, yeah, they do make me laugh. But the fact that their content is based around these kind of shocking topics, to me.
But think about this. Okay. They talk about that, and I know this is off the beaten path of what we could discuss it today. I personally think they're having a discussion. They're saying out loud what a lot of motherfuckers be out here doing. That's one thing. I think they're saying out loud what a lot of cats probably already have tried, they enjoy, and they not mad at.
That's obvious when you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Okay. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, it's obvious when you look at the numbers. Like, with certain kind of music, we can say all day it's trash. Like, guys my age, I just hate the trash conversations because I refuse to call these younger people music trash.
No, I'm not doing that either.
My response is, it's not made for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it has to be made for someone because all of these numbers aren't fake. Now, a lot of them are fake.
No, a great deal of them are, but not a lot of them.
A great deal of it isn't. Because you got people
I totally agree.
From an indie status, like our independent world,
right,
that actually get numbers from
that's a fact.
Indie fans. So just like with underground hip hop, boom bap as they want to call it. You know, a lot of people don't want to call it boom bap no more, but cool. I understand why they don't. There's a certain level of core fans that want that.
Yeah. I always base artists when I see when they do shows. That's if you could demand ticket prices, people to pay for it. I don't give a fuck if it's 200, 100 people. You got 100 people to get up and purchase a ticket to go see you perform. I think that's a win.
Even with that, what people miss is the work put in to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you have a focused demographic of people that want to see you here.
Right.
more so than online.
Right.
You have people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I look at my analytics, you know what I'm saying? I'll have Argentina, New Zealand, Russia, and all this kind of shit.
Right.
Where people don't even care what you look like. They just want to hear music.
Right.
They're just kind of source of music. As compared to going to Chapel Hill.
Right.
And 50 people show up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's power in that. Like, a lot of people can't do that. Because
ticket sales still matter.
Well, a lot of people, their fan base is so widespread. Because
Right.
the game is so different now. You know what I'm saying? That's some rewarding shit. That's something to definitely build from. When you can go to a city. Now I'm saying 50. Some people are like, 50 ain't shit. $50, 50 people, $10 a ticket. That's still $500.
That's chicken.
And then if you're selling your merch,
and if you got good merch,
bro, if you give a good show,
yep,
somebody's gonna buy something.
Yep.
You know, like a lot of people that buy from my shit just buy it. Or they might see a clip they like.
Yep.
Oh man, I gotta go to your site and get something.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got things priced small, medium, then you got some other things that might be more expensive. Then it depends on what somebody's budget is at the time.
Yep.
But if you give a quality product, you know, people gonna support you.
And that shit gonna matter. Yep, that shit matters.
So if you can bring 50 people to a venue, there's a good chance at least 25 or 30 out of that 50 will buy something.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Unless you just selling CDs for $30.
Right. Because you can
$30 vinyl and
you
shit.
can outprice yourself. You
yeah,
can
like some people
yourself.
like, come on, bro. Like
now vinyl for $30 ain't bad. Unless
depends. I think it depends on where you're doing it.
Doing it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you're doing it in California, New York, overseas, $30, you can probably get away with it.
I think you can do it here in North Carolina.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think it depends on. I think it depends on the act and the fan base.
Right.
But that ain't saying nothing.
That's everything though. Yeah, that's everything.
Well, I'm just saying that for some people that might not understand.
Okay. Yeah.
No, we can't. I can't say we
you
can't.
don't want to. You don't want to outprice yourself.
But that too. But sometimes I think when we talk, when I play back stuff, I think sometimes we speak in generalizations, just thinking everybody understands the dynamic of what we're talking about.
I get it.
And we know that's not the truth.
No, hell no.
Because some people would think what we're saying is so far-fetched, but they don't really understand the independent grind, whether it's podcasting, whether it's music, whether it's just entrepreneurism. You know what I'm saying? From independent dynamic, it's all a different thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because most people, all they care about is likes, shares, and comments. And a lot of these things are just generalizations that have no value.
None whatsoever.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got people out here who numbers don't look outrageous, but they're being looked at by investors. They're being looked at advertisers because they have a quality product that just needs a quality push.
That's what matters.
And people that focus on numbers, I mean, they don't have anything, but they might get a little. They might get a little internet residual.
Right.
But you know, is that sustainable, or is that really building your brand and your product?
I tell people all the time, man, don't look at the major brands when it comes to trying to build your portfolio when you're reaching out and speaking to other speaking to brands for sponsorships or anything like that. Look at a lot of these smaller brands, man. I got a few checks from a lot of smaller brands. And excuse me, I fell out of that myself. I felt like, yo, man, I'm pulling this high quality shit. I need to go higher brands. And then I started losing a lot of the smaller brands. So now it's like I'm back singular focus. Let's get these smaller brands because we have our pods and have other different shows and stuff like that I want to bring advertisement to that can upscale what we're doing. Okay. And got a little jaded. I ain't go front. I got a little jaded at one point, and then I started reaching out to major big brands because I got a brand to back this artist, a brand to back this artist, and I'm like, well, I need to bring those same brands over here to what I'm doing, and I got to realize it ain't the same shit.
I feel you. But it's also no right or wrong of doing this thing.
It really isn't.
Like for me, like next year, when the new year hits, I'll probably have, a minimum of 6 EPs for this year, right? Mm-hmm. So next year, if I approach somebody, like, it's a catalog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Add videos to it as a catalog. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that gives me more leverage, as an MC of my age to show I got this catalog. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to maintain this consistency. Will it work? I don't know.
It at least open some festival doors.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the best I can do. Now, I'm not saying just throw a bunch of product out there. There's some science to the madness. Every EP has its own identity. Mm-hmm. But, usually if they like one song, a person's always going to ask for more.
Right.
You ain't got to ask me for more. You can go to Bandcamp. Everything is there.
Yep.
All the streaming services will eventually get there, but I'll let Bandcamp rock for a little while. When I just say that with people, a lot of people, it's like they don't have their own strategies. Whether they're stealing somebody else's strategy and trying to apply it, or they're just using a blueprint that worked 5 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like with us doing the podcast, what made that podcast successful might not work for us because our content might be different.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because we really Hell, on some fucking hood nerd shit, if you want to be honest about it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because we ain't talking no street shit.
Nope.
But we can.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking no heavy tech shit or no heavy intellectual shit, but we can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost that gap that meets the two.
Right. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that puts you in an identity that's singular to itself. So that's the tough part in finding your way to really just reach people and let them know, this is some content that will inspire you, uplift you, and also keep you interested. That's the hard part.
That's a super hard part.
You know what I'm saying? But once they get there, you got to keep them there. And just like everything is so saturated today.
Yes.
Consistency is a key. We had to take a little break. But the powerful thing about taking a break is when you return stronger.
Yeah, right.
Then when you return stronger, it's like, okay, they've been in the gym.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They've been putting them shots up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like even when I took a break from music, when I came back, I wanted to come back stronger. Like even with your network, when you take a break, you want to come back stronger. You can't come back the same person.
Nah, not at all.
You should look better. Your dress should be better. Your scenery should be better. Like our videos are better.
Yeah.
The clips are better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all that puts people that even if they lost touch when they see it, they're like, oh shit.
You're right.
Yeah,
right. Shit is still flowing, and they looking good over there.
Yeah, I remember them guys from what's that thing we was on before? Spreaker.
Yeah.
I used to follow them on Spreaker, man. Yeah, that's what they looking like. Yeah,
we was on Spreaker.
Yeah, Spreaker, had good
Spreaker
numbers.
held it down. Yeah.
Had good numbers.
There's some real good numbers on Spreaker. Should we have in our new platform, because we're just more podcast focused, the numbers look good too when we were rolling. And our first episode numbers didn't look bad. Our first episode back numbers didn't look bad at all. I was like shocked. And so that's what made me like, let me get these clips together and start really posting these fucking clips. Let me get out my own way.
But you don't like clips?
I don't. But I'm getting out my way.
Yeah, but
gotta use it.
Your reasons for not liking them
It's stupid.
They aren't applicable.
It's stupid.
I know, but I'm not gonna call you stupid.
No, I'm calling myself stupid. It's stupid.
I can agree with you.
You can say the reason is stupid without saying I'm stupid.
I've said it was dumb.
You have.
But I never said dumb.
No.
Because if I'm serious about a conversation, I'm not going to say that. Because
which I
that
respect.
takes the conversation left. Because now you feel like I called you dumb. And I'm not doing that. I'm just saying you're not being sensible right now. Yeah. And you knew you wasn't, man. You just want to disagree.
Hey, bro.
But neither here nor there, you come back improved.
Bro, let me tell you. I took it a short, right? Put it on YouTube Shorts. I didn't realize you could connect the short to the actual main show. Right? So I knew that. I didn't know that. I don't do them shit.
I don't do it, but I knew that.
Connected to the main show.
That's good. I like that.
And when the numbers for the clip went up, the numbers for the show also went up.
All encompassing.
I said, all right, I see what they're doing.
You learn something, huh?
Yeah,
I like that.
I see what they're doing.
Progress.
Yeah.
It's all growth, man.
It is.
It's all growth.
It is.
See, when y'all listen to podcasts, or even artists or entrepreneurs, independent, y'all don't realize the grind, marketing-wise, when you don't have a lot of backing and money to pay people that already have all these connects. So you have to find your connects. You got to find these little glitches. You got to find your way to fit in. And then you have to do it again.
Yep.
Then after that one works, you got to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to consistently move with the business. I mean, if you're serious about what you're doing, if you're just on here being goofy, I mean, you could do that. It might work for you. Maybe your goofiness is your brand. Nah. But when you're trying to have some of substantial value in content, it's a lonely road. It's a longer road.
Longer and lonely road.
Yeah,
man.
but you can make it work for you when you just have your challenges and you celebrate the small victories along the way.
Yep.
And you got a good team of people around you that know it's a long journey. And then you have to like what you're doing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
If you don't like what you're doing, you're going to quit.
Easily.
I mean, we on episode like 143 right now.
Yeah, 143. Yep.
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, and we've watched a lot of podcasts go. We would have had a lot more episodes.
We had we took 6 months off?
Yeah.
Was it 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
I just threw a number out there.
No, it's 6 months.
Was it?
Yeah. It's close to it.
Yeah, I got to make a phone call.
Look at you realize.
Yeah, I got to make a phone call.
Yo, let me get right into sports, yo. Why do you think the NBA live on back in the day so much? Because all their marketing is always back in the day. Well, not the marketing, the old players, other people, everything is back in the day. Back in the day, it was this, and not living a moment that today could be successful. If we look at the changes, it's not the players' fault. The rules, it's the way the rules has been set. The players have to acquiesce to where the rules is being set. Now, We did just talk about 3-point stuff, but we'll get to that. But why do you think that so many people live on back in the day we did this, back in the day we did that, back in the day we did this? I think Reggie Miller and somebody else are the only two people I ever seen. What's his name? He was a Knick legend too. I can't think his name. The older gentleman. They Oscar Robertson. They never talk about back in the day.
Yeah, Oscar Robertson
they
played with
speak
the Bucks,
highly. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did play with the Bucks. He did. But they speak highly of this generation and not like, yo, I'm not gonna focus on what. Like someone asked him, what would you do in this generation? How would you be able to average a triple double, this, that, and third? He said, I don't know what I would have did. I did what I did in my time. I love what these men are doing in their time. I'm tired of us old players speaking down on this generation like we can just go and do so much. We don't know what we would do in this generation.
They're prisoners of the moment, though. They're just catching on to a vibe.
Right.
It's popular. Football's the same way with quarterbacks.
Right.
Pocket quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Not no more. Now the standard is you got to run.
No, I'm talking about the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talking about the reality of it. The conversations, people still talk about pocket quarterbacks and who's a real quarterback, not. Running backs, they still talk about workhorse running backs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know about baseball. But with basketball, they still talk about big men and post moves. True point guards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Celtics really don't have a point guard. I had somebody arguing about me. Yeah, they do. I said, who? Drew Holiday never brings the ball up court.
Nope, he never does.
Jason Tatum does. And I think that's stupid. Yeah, but they want a chip. I said, but look at them now. Either they play great or they're confused.
Right.
You can win 60 games and still be ass.
Yeah.
Because the playoffs is a whole new season.
It's a whole new season.
So to answer you, it's just some people just fight change.
Right.
Do you have to like what the change is?
Right.
No.
No. Right.
The change in relationships we might not like.
Right.
But if this is the world you live in, you got to find a way to make it work. And you still find the beauty within it.
Right.
I don't like what goes on with social media as far as anything black media. But you see it, you know what it is. Instead of complaining about the parts you don't like, you can take the parts you do like and add what you have to it and try to make it better.
Right.
At least you have a chance to succeed at something rather than sitting around complaining. Because the game is different. Like I say, certain people in our era might have excelled in that era. Maybe they wouldn't.
Right.
Certain people in that era would excel in this era. Maybe they wouldn't.
Right.
Oscar Robertson dribbled with one hand.
That's it.
He shot with one hand.
Yep.
You can't tell me he'll play like that now.
Hell no.
But if he was living now, his game would be different.
But
Bob Cousy dribbled with one hand in a circle.
Right.
You can't do that
But
now.
that's that LeBron talk. If he was, and they was like, some people say in that era he wouldn't have survived. But if he lived in that era, he's still 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", 250 pounds.
If LeBron played in that era, he would have been a power forward.
Yep.
He's the size of Karl Malone.
A mean one, too.
So you telling me he couldn't have played the 4 with a different mentality?
And then if he had his current dribbling and vision, he'd literally be a power forward / Magic.
Bruh, old school basketball, Jalen Brunson would have been a top 50 player in history.
Yes.
He's a 6-foot power forward that runs the point. And I love Isaiah Thomas and all these little guys. He would have cooked Isaiah Thomas' ass. And Isaiah Thomas would have cooked him too.
Okay, as long as we don't do
What you mean?
don't do Zeke like that. I
what?
mean, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you.
There's no way Isaiah Thomas would have guarded Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson bullies people 6'5".
They would just put him on his ass like they like to fight in that era. So
Jalen Brunson don't mind getting fouled. That's why I said he'll survive.
That. I will give
people say,
him
he flopping. Yeah, okay. What about the 100 times he got beat up? You know what I'm saying? You got different kinds of flopping. You got people that sell a call and people that flop.
That nigga sold the hell out of a call.
Sometimes professional.
I ain't mad at him.
Supposed to do that.
Dog, we put him to the board.
Bro, listen.
We was doing him dirty, dog.
Every once in a while, the ref got to give me something, bro.
Hey, bro, we was doing him so dirty. I was feeling bad for Buddy. But I was like, God.
Nah, I ain't feeling bad for him. He fits what I'm saying. If you can play a series like that where a team is focused on you and the plan is to beat you up every time you get the ball,
right,
and you still the same dominant person in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the way the game was back then.
Even the game they lost recently, they really could have, with game 4, game 3.
Yeah.
Game 3, they really almost could have won that game.
I mean, that's
wasn't even finally was making
sports.
shots.
That's sports. Mm-hmm. But to rewind it back to your question, the problem is actually officiating and the people up top, as far as the president of the league and this and that or whatever, they dictate things.
Yeah.
Like in football, they want higher scoring games.
So they only run as much as more passing.
They changed the officiating. They wanted more numbers. Basketball, they wanted higher scores, so they changed the officiating.
Yeah.
Then the Golden State Warriors won the championship shooting threes. Now
the whole league
is trying to do it.
Yeah. Right.
So everybody,
and a lot of you cats can't shoot for shit.
I'll bring it to another level with the music business. It's the same dynamic because certain things catch on, and then everybody wants to blame the artist instead of the system that actually changed it. So we can get mad at these young artists all day, but if the labels put money behind positive music or behind underground hip hop, as you say, or behind soulful R&B,
just music of substance,
put it all in context, music of substance, then it would be different,
right?
But you keep supporting this trash, so they're gonna keep giving you trash,
bro. Somebody broke down. Somebody was like, "Yo, if you a rapper and you really like worry about your words and putting your words together, like I feel bad for you because this dude dropped a song that said, what the hell he ante? What the hell he this?" And he out here winning. I was like, that makes sense. But I also put under the comment,
definition of winning is debatable.
He can't go overseas and do nothing overseas.
He can't do a show anywhere where people love music. He has to go to a club where everybody's high.
Yeah.
He's lit. But if you go anywhere with people that like music, they looking at you.
Like, bro, what we doing?
Hella. Huh? See what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm saying? People that love music, it might be a smaller venue with the people that love music, but those smaller venues add up.
Honestly, the venues that them cats go to are small venues and just lit venues. It only be about 75 people in them.
But it's an expiration date on that music because you're an interchangeable person. They'll just get somebody else to be hella. You know what I'm saying? Or they get somebody else to do the rippity raw. You know what I'm saying? It's not sustainable. I agree. It's not sustainable.
Now back to sports. We had a discussion earlier where we were discussing like how 3-point, like how even like the Celtics, they'll pass up a open layup or a mid-range shot just to continue to shoot threes when the threes aren't working. Then you get people like Charles Barkley and all them like, yo, why they shooting all these threes and all this other stuff? The NBA is this, the NBA is that. These players don't. It's not the players' fault. It's statisticians. It's the people coming to analytic guys that's telling you threes are more than twos. Don't shoot twos. They tell you twos is a bad shot. There's so many players that have said that. When Melo said that, like he was like, I live my life on all that.
Melo and Jeff Teague broke it down better than anybody.
They did. They broke that shit down perfectly. But they was like, yo, I live my life shooting these shots, and now you telling me I got to shoot threes? And like, no, I don't shoot no three. Shoot no corner three. I even say, even now, like with training my son,
where the floaters at?
They don't even do that much anymore. And that's funny you even brought that up because I'm even showing my son how to do a floater. Like I'm training my kid, and at first he was on some, I got to have a bag, Daddy. I said, bro, you could barely use your left hand. Like we got to get your dribbling ability together to talk about a bag. I said, but bags are developed over time. And the bag is nothing but multiple different skills that you have mastered. That's your bag. You have mastered these multiple different skills and knowing when to use these skills and use these different moves. That's your bag. That dribble shit, that shit ain't working.
Yeah, unless you Kyrie Irving.
But I remember we talked about that. Even Kyrie, if you look at it, he looked like he take a lot of dribbling. He really only to attack the basket, he really only take 3 to 4 dribbles.
Yeah, but he takes 10 before he decides to attack. He's gonna play with you first. But it depends on
who.
I think it depends on the time of the game.
Yep.
The playoffs.
He takes 3 to 4 dribbles, and that's it.
You think 3 to 4?
That's it. I've counted. That's bad. I've counted. I've watched it. 3 to 4.
That nigga take 3 to warm up.
I'm telling you, bro. You got to watch it. He really don't take a whole lot of dribbles, especially when he attacking. When he attacking, it's literally
Kyrie
quick.
Gets a pass.
He get quick because he can dribble so well.
Not even that.
And he does his turnover ratio.
Jalen Brunson ain't a great dribbler, but his footwork is impeccable.
Right. You like bringing up Jalen Brunson
because he's the underdog. I love the underdog, man.
Underdog. You bring him up a lot.
Hated and love it. The underground's on top. Underdog. Kyrie Irving ain't no underdog, man. I like the underdog.
You don't think Kyrie Irving is an underdog?
No, he's not an underdog. Never was an underdog.
You don't think so?
No, man. He was a lottery pick.
That's true. He was.
He played in college and got hurt, and still nobody cared.
Nobody gave a fuck.
I don't care. You got a broke foot. Who cares?
Got drafted high, fresh off the gate.
That's gonna heal.
But I'm showing my son these things, and then we went to like a little camp, little basketball thing, and I'm seeing like other coaches tell kids, just shoot threes, pull up from the three, pull up. Threes are better than two. I'm sitting here like, yo, this is bad teaching. Now y'all teaching that down here too. Like, come on, man. These kids.
How you think you got started?
I don't know.
I think ESPN is the problem.
I'm always, but that's why I don't really watch that shit.
I think ESPN is the problem. I'll throw my own brother under the bus. His days off from work, my middle brother. It's my guy. I always talk shit to him. He watches ESPN faithfully, and I can tell.
Because all he do is quote ESPN
stupidest shit in the fucking. This is a must win for us. I was like, yo, people don't talk like that, bro. People don't talk like that, yo. Oh, we're playing like trash. I'm like, it's the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? I said Jalen Brunson's the best Nick ever. No, Clyde Frazier. He got rings. I'm like, he played on a team with 4 Hall of Famers.
Right.
Son, come on, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? He played with Earl and Pearl Monroe in the backcourt. He had Willis Reed, David DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, all these guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson played last year playoffs with 3 starters hurt and a 6-man hurt. And still would have beat the Pacers if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And you got to compare that to somebody that played with all Hall of Famers. I don't understand why people think it's disrespectful if you say one person's better than another one. Some like Jay-Z, some like Nas. Some might say Scarface. Some might say Tupac. Some might still say Biggie.
Right.
Some say Biggie ain't had enough albums.
Oh, that's that new shit that they doing now. I'm not a fan of that.
I blame ESPN and I blame the media for giving these thought processes because people watch these shows and they take whatever they hear as law. They don't take the time to process information on their own.
Right.
It's just like the whole Batman and Robin thing. We ain't never talk about that.
Nah.
Who's the Batman? Who's the Robin?
Yeah, that's that new shit I don't like neither.
Like every team, you have to pick out who's the best player.
Right.
And they say, oh, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can't play together. Then they win a chip. Now the main conversation is Jason Tatum really he's really not that guy. Like,
hey man,
that's not the problem with that team.
I've been saying that.
I mean, you've been saying that, but still, that shouldn't be a major topic.
That shouldn't be a topic at all.
They got bigger problems than that. The problem is you shoot 63 pointers a game.
They definitely do.
And Jason Tatum is 6'10".
He is.
What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You 6'10" with a dude guard you 6'4", and you shooting 25-footers with the he ain't got a step back. No. He got a side step.
He do. That's why he got blocked by Mikal Bridges. That shit was crazy. I hate that you up in the air to shoot a jumper pass shit. Because now you realize you got 15 niggas on you.
First of all, he jumped in the air and did a 180, not realizing 2 people were standing there. And another person was on the other side. He was triple teamed. He didn't even see it. Because he thought he was just going to go back, turn around, and just shoot it. But
you remember he fumbled the ball. He had fumbled the ball because he was going to do the side step, pull up, fumble the ball, and it rolled. The way it rolled all the way to that side. So when he went up, you're right, it was like
he's a victim of today's basketball.
Yes.
Jaylen Brown, I think is going to history as one of the best one-handed dribblers ever to play a game of basketball. This man has one hand, and you cannot stop him go to the paint.
Nope.
I just don't understand it. I mean, I get it because his first step is crazy. He's athletic.
And his setup, he do set up with both hands. He just go right all the time.
Bro, that's the same thing I'm saying. He has one hand, and you can't do nothing about it. You might stop him one game, but then you already know that next game is going to be a problem.
Allen Iverson is the best one-handed dribble. He set out his mouth. He only went one direction. He said out his mouth he really could only dribble one direction.
He wasn't getting to the cup like Jaylen Brown. I'm talking about get straight to the cup.
That's all AI did was go to the cup.
He don't get to the cup like Jaylen. A lot of his shots was jumpers, man. Mid-range jumpers. They had the mid-range back there.
That's true. They did.
Jaylen Brown is going through in traffic.
Hey, I'm a JB fan.
I ain't know that, but okay.
You know that.
No.
And you know that. I always say he the star of that team over Tatum in my book. Always been that star.
You troll so much. I don't know if you mean what you saying.
Okay.
Or you just on some flippity, bro.
That's true. I do be doing that.
I be paying no mind to you.
I do be doing that. But I do like Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum.
I mean, that's fine.
And I've been that way.
But all I'm saying is crunch time if you're down 1 point.
Jaylen Brown.
Why? If you need a 3, I get it. Jason Tatum will shoot some crazy boom. But if all you need is 1 point.
Jaylen, just give the ball.
Why is he shooting a fadeaway 3? You need 1 point, my nigga. Jaylen Brown's going to get to the basket. He's going to pull up from 10. Or he's going to do he got a left-handed layup.
Yeah,
he ain't dribbling with that left hand more than twice. But I'm kind of hating because to dribble with one hand and do all of that, bro, you spectacular, bro. You amazing. Like you spin to the left, they know you coming back right.
They know it.
And they still
know
can't
it.
do
They
nothing.
know it. They know you coming back right.
Yo, Shane, you phenomenal, my nigga.
But back to how they training these kids, man. So and I feel bad for my kid, but then you even broke it down because I'm giving him one dribble, pull, midi, go to the basket,
it's coming back,
spin to the left for the take up.
It's coming back.
I'm even giving them post moves because it's like, yo, you almost 6'1" right now at 14. You probably gonna get a lot taller. They're gonna try to throw you in the post. At least know some post moves just in case. Know something. Know a face guard. Know how to set up your face guard. Know how to, when someone's holding you this way, spin to the left. They're holding you this way, spin to the right. Drop step, quick floater.
Well, I look at it from a strategic point. If you know you're going to be a big man, especially,
right?
You know they're not giving you the ball, right?
Maybe.
So you have to. You're not getting the ball in the paint. You ain't getting the ball in the paint. You're not now.
Right.
It might eventually change.
Right.
But every skill tool you give yourself in the paint gives you something to do with that offensive rebound.
Yes, it does.
Because if you can get that offensive rebound and find a way to score, they're not going to tell you to kick it out as much.
Nope.
All these dudes that's kicking it out, if you think about it,
because they can't score.
They can't score. So you're not, okay, perfect example. You didn't have to do that, but okay, let's do it. We here. We here now. Let's go. We here. We parked the car. I'm getting out. That's right. We here. If you prove you can't, you know what I'm saying? If he had a drop step and a spin, left hand, you ain't got to throw it out every time.
I agree there.
Like with the Celtics. KP don't kick that joint out every time.
No, he don't.
Now the boy coming off the bench, Cornette, he's tossing it out.
Out there, yeah. But
you know what I'm saying? Al Horford don't always toss it out.
KP can shoot the three and everything.
I'm saying if he grabs a rebound and he's under there,
he's taking it back up. He has a skill. Even Al Horford can do whatever he want to do. He's 45 years old, 80 years old. There ain't nobody's telling him nothing.
But I'm gonna tell you, he shot a three yesterday. It was the worst three I've ever seen in my life. That joint hit the side under the rim.
Yeah.
I said, come on, my nigga.
I think he retiring after this year.
You said that 2 years ago.
I did.
I said it too.
Yeah, I did. But I think now he got his ring too, and he earned that ring.
Son,
he didn't just ride. He didn't ride on the bus. It just rolled the bus. He actually earned that ring.
Al Horford still deserves minutes, but my angle with the Knicks is KP's not 100%, and y'all not attacking this thing, man.
Attack it.
Whoever Al Horford is guarding, attack that man, bro.
Yeah.
He 105.
The sad part is that boy's still strong, boy.
He's still strong.
Strong, boy. You know, old man strength different.
Still, in the fourth quarter, you got to attack people's weaknesses. And I'm just saying this because I'm a Knicks fan. They don't do good with
Who
that.
y'all got that can attack him?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
Whenever they go on a switch.
I get it.
He just don't.
As soon as somebody touch him hard, he
like a broke finger though. Everybody don't play.
You saw his hand break, his finger broke. I saw it.
Everybody don't play.
No, they didn't even want to call a timeout to take him out the game.
You being unfair. You acting like everybody on Knicks is going to be like Jalen Brunson and play with one ankle.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
That was before the broken hand. I was before the broken hand.
Okay.
If somebody put an elbow,
he goes to the basket. He's like, oh my God. Okay.
If someone put an elbow in his back, he bends over.
What?
Yes.
Oh, whoa! Don't do that, man. Cut it out. Elbow in the back. Stop it. Stop it. This is not that kind of show. This ain't what we do. What is wrong with you, man? Elbow in the back. Stop it, man. Come on, bro. Carl Anthony Towns is going to be second team All NBA, bro. I mean, his voice. I don't understand. He has 3 different octaves to his voice. He's the weirdest person. Some of his interviews, you be like, okay, Cat. And some of his interviews, you be like, bro, why did you say that, man?
What we doing?
He's different, man. But I will say this. He is the quietest rebounder I've ever seen in my life.
Yo, he'll get 10. He'll get 10.
Game before last, he had 17 rebounds.
Yes, he did. Yep.
And I watched the game.
Yep.
I did not see 17 rebounds, bro.
He is great on offensive rebounds.
It's not. It's defensive rebounds.
Yeah, defense. That's what I mean.
Offensive rebounds, he's not getting any.
On his defensive rebounds, he grabs quick. As soon as the ball come up, he's grabbing
why he gets so many defensive rebounds? Because his feet so damn heavy. He's stuck down there. He out of position every time. But you see the ball. Oh, shit, let me get it. Big ass feet, man. He can't move his feet.
He get a couple of good offensive rebounds, too.
Big ass feet. But what I'm saying,
his putback game.
When you got an old defender like Al Horford, whenever Jalen Brunson see Al Horford, he cook him. Because you know he old.
Right.
He's not moving from the elbow to the 3-point line fast
and
enough.
Ain't gonna be no lateral movement.
But nobody else is taking advantage of that. He's gonna have certain plays where he's gonna stop you. But consistently, he can't do it like he did 5 years ago. You gotta attack that.
Right.
You gotta attack that. Teams that win championships, they attack mismatches. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Celtics shoot mad threes, there are times where they take advantage of mismatches.
Right.
If KP is being guarded by Brunson in the paint, they're going to find him.
Yeah.
It might only be 2 or 3 times in the game, but that's still 6 points.
Yeah.
Sometimes games decided by 3, 4. Hell, Mitchell Robinson already shot 2 air balls from the foul line.
He did.
He only played 3 games. So you averaging 7 air balls a game. Is that a record?
It might be. When he shot that air ball, I said, ooh, that's egregious.
The first air ball, I was like, that's the first air ball I've seen in my life. Then he shot another one. I said, oh my God, he done beat the first one. Like, this nigga's Bubba Dub.
That shit is egregious,
But
bro.
this nigga's one of the best offensive rebounders,
Yes,
and I say this loosely, I've ever seen. Because he'll get 6 offensive rebounds and only played in 15 minutes.
Yep.
But you can't keep him on the floor because he can't make a free throw. And then you're 4-on-5 on offense. You've been in the NBA for 7 years, and your offense is at the level of Rudy Gobert.
Fucking Rudy Gobert.
But you're even worse than Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert might have a game where you get 20.
That's true.
Which I don't understand.
He been hooping.
I mean, yeah, he's hooping.
I ain't gonna lie to you. He been hooping.
I like Minnesota. I think it's funny how people try to credit Julius Randle for Minnesota's success.
You know how that works.
And I'm like, bruh, he's averaging 5 rebounds a game.
You know how that works, bro. Yo, we're gonna get to this video. I want to get your blind reaction to this video.
He said blind reaction.
Yeah. Just listen to what this person is saying.
Can't imagine.
Hacked into his email and took a picture of him. Basically, hacked into his email and took a picture of him and put him on the pedophile list. And then from there, when I hacked into his email, I said, listen, I got the craziest toxic story ever, all right? So this goes way back to my ex, where I basically ruined his life. What happened was I had a miscarriage, and I found out that homeboy was on a family date with him and his new girlfriend, and I was carrying his kid. I basically hacked into his email and took a picture of him and put him on the pedophile list. And then from there, when I hacked into his email, I saw all the pictures with him and his new bitch. So I got her phone number and basically turned her phone off because they were sharing the same line together.
Wait, hold on. Quick. I have a question.
Yeah.
So you got his email, got a picture, and put you on the pedophile list. How do you do that?
All right, so in the state of New York, when you register as a sex offender, you have to register your address. So somebody was already at the address where he was at, because it was technically like a halfway house, because in New York, rent dumb expensive, so they can't rent an apartment, they rent rules. So what I did is that I took the one that was at his address, pasted his photo onto it, and got him on the pedophile list, like, oh, update, send this to the PO office. Then from there, I send that same picture to his job, he lost his job. And then from there, I sent that same picture to the apartment complex. He was an unregistered sex offender, then he lost his apartment. And then from there, I drained both of his main accounts and his savings.
Queen cold.
Nah, that's not cold. You sat over here and told me that you was happy that I lost your baby. So I made sure that you lost your life.
What is wrong with your algorithm?
Look.
They both look like they done.
That's the what.
You should have never laid down with that.
He do the interviews. People call him. He be doing online. People tell him the most toxic shit they do.
I'll say this.
Right. What's your thoughts?
Breakup should just be broke. You go your way, that person goes their way.
Right.
Trying to ruin a person's life because they hurt your feelings.
Crazy to me.
You need to go to jail.
I agree.
Because
I hope the man who
assassinate his likeness.
I hope he saw this video and he was able to go take that to every place.
She's so stupid. She showed her face. So you're gonna lose. You told the world this is what you did, and putting somebody on a pedophile list, causing them to lose their job.
And it shouldn't be so easy.
I mean, we don't know. That's another problem.
It shouldn't be that easy.
But we don't know what kind of job he had, what kind of career he had, whatever it is. That's his livelihood.
Right.
And you're just mad because he has another family.
And that's sad that you. They're not even another fan, just got another girl.
I think the family makes it worse because she lost her baby and he's with another woman, probably with a child or something. And, stuff like that. A lot of times we get in our feelings, we keep it moving.
But
Some guys are petty too.
yeah,
But
it's just weird to me that
she went through a lot of trouble.
she did a lot of shit and then drained his bank accounts. Like, how she get
That's why I
access to this
said-
nigga bank accounts?
She
He got to be
She probably got his social security number and everything.
right. He got to be a lot more secure. His shit, man.
Bro, I done had a woman tell me my social security number before when I was in college. Just, drinking, sleeping. She probably went through my wallet, some social security card. She knew it. Like, straight up and down, she told me. You know what I'm saying? And I knew her for a long time. She told me. She said, you can't get away from me. I know how to find you. She said my shit, woo, 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 woo. I said, you know how you be ignoring the chick? They say something, like, oh, yeah, you listening now. It's just, yeah, what the, yeah. Yeah, but she went through so much, man. She should be charged.
Yes.
And she should be punished to the highest extent of the law that applies to, let me see. First of all, she drained his bank account.
Yep. So that's
a felony.
Yep. That's a felony. You stealing like a mother.
You basically made a false police report.
Ain't no basically.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I don't know how they would
categorize that. For you to throw, because you rent, and that's the bad part of the sex offender shit. If you rent an apartment or something, you don't know to go check, let's make sure no sex offenders was registered here. You don't think about that. Who thinks about that when you go move someplace? And now this person is able to take this sex offender thing, take a picture of you, paste it on there, and then send it in the update. And then send it off to your job and where you lived at. I'm suing jobs. I'm suing where I lived at. Ain't nobody do no investigation. No one asked me. Y'all just fired me. And is New York a right to work state?
I don't know. I know in North Carolina, you ain't got no case.
Nope, not one.
That's at will. So.
Yep, at will. Yep, right to work.
I mean, you can do all that shit you talking about.
Yeah, North Carolina's
that's
like,
different. That's like filing.
And I think
Virginia,
Virginia,
unemployment office.
I think Virginia like that too.
Yeah, you wasting your time, G.
Yeah.
New York, I don't know. I don't think that was the right state to do that in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right state to do that type of shit.
I mean, New York, you can shoot yourself in the foot and still go to prison.
Easily. Plexico burrows.
You know what I'm saying?
Plexico burrows.
Hey, you a millionaire in the NFL. You shot yourself and went to prison for 3 years. So
Shouldn't have took that gun in the club, dummy.
you shouldn't carry a gun nowhere. You a fucking millionaire. You're an NFL player. You hire somebody for that.
Yeah.
And then why you need to be protected? Where you going?
Where you going, my boy? Yo, so we'll move on because that was some bullshit. I got a question.
Trash.
Yo, the man you are today, do you have anything you would change about yourself today?
Yeah. All day.
You want to expound on it or no?
Well, maintaining a balance. You know what I'm saying? I would say maintaining a balance. It's always a working process. We spoke on the last podcast, when obstacles come our way, sometimes we become overwhelmed. And we expect people to, understand where we at. And when they don't understand, it kind of pushes us away sometimes because everything is just, it's like being stuck in a room and everything is around you. You know what I'm saying? Just do a better job of balancing things out. It's not an easy task, but some of us have a lot on the plate. We got to maintain it because once you clear the air and the smoke clears and you got more room to maneuver, within that process, sometimes you lost a lot of things of value that you have to reclaim. When maybe you could have put more into it, to keep it around, or at least explain.
Right. Better explain what's going on.
Well, it's hard sometimes to explain because sometimes we don't even know.
Yeah.
Sometimes things that you don't know, but sometimes you got to say that. Sometimes you got to say it again.
Yeah. No, I agree. I get
it. It's no different when you say to people, when you do something, you want to give 100%. So when you look back on it, you won't say, maybe I could have done that different. Because you're only responsible about how you handle things.
Right.
So there's several things I wish I could handle a little bit better. Career-wise, life-wise. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's probably a forever life struggle.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Whether it's a hard struggle or a lightweight struggle.
Right.
If anybody says they never struggle with that, I think it's a lie.
I agree.
So that might be my same answer every year. It'll just be different variables.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like last year, I might have said I can handle my relationship with my parents better. You know what I'm saying? This year, I am handling it better without realizing it.
Right.
But pressure had to come to accelerate that process to get it in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even with different creative things, just it's a balance. No different from what we doing now. We here early in the morning recording, man. It's just a matter of setting a process in place
and just
following it.
Yep, just getting
and staying consistent. You know what I'm saying? And carrying that over to everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I want to just adopt and just be consistent with it. unapologetically, man, just getting it done. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm tired, but this is what I'm doing at 7:30. I'm still a little tired, but I got to be here at 11. You know, just keep it moving.
I know what you mean on that. I got a full day today. I know you do as well. I agree, man. I had a moment earlier in the week. So at work, we was doing this big presentation for a large group of people. We do this thing every Thursday. And in the middle of my piece of it was getting to the end, bro, I had a panic attack in the middle of the program, in the middle of the thing, to a point where I couldn't breathe, bro. Like so I'm trying to say a word, you know what I mean? Like I'm reading this thing off, like I'm like, yeah, sophistication, this, you know. I couldn't breathe, heart beating fast.
It's different.
And I'm like, y'all literally having like sweats. I'm like, at first I was like, am I having a stroke or something?
What triggered it though, you think?
I'm tired. There's been a lot of stress going on. I'm tired. I haven't really been sleeping, and I've been under some stress. I've been pretty stressed out. I'm not gonna front. I'm pretty stressed out. I got a lot on my plate right now, and I don't know what to do, what to touch, and it's making me be hella complacent where I don't want to do nothing. And it's like I can't afford to not do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna front. At this point right now, I'm not in the best headspace. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even front to you. I ain't in the best headspace.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
It's not an uncommon thing.
No, it's not. It's not for us as as men, people. Period. But I know right now I'm just super. So I think that's what brought upon it, because I haven't been getting any sleep. I've been up late nights, early mornings, and you know what I'm saying, not facing certain things. And I think it just hit me, but I haven't had a panic attack in a long time. Last one I was driving. I had to pull over. You know what I'm saying? That was the last panic attack I had. So just to have that just hit me. I was like, oh shit.
A lot of that is consequences of overthinking.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Some people never have these issues because they don't think about shit.
Yeah.
They just live.
I can't do that.
Yeah, they just live.
I don't have that luxury.
They just live.
The luxury to do that.
Nobody has the luxury to just do that. This is the choice people make. They're just living. They don't think about nothing. Or some people just miserable every day.
I wish I could not think about that.
I mean, just, we all have a different calling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some responsibilities we put on ourselves, but even when you put them on yourself, it's still on your back. You still got to carry it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no right or wrong to it. And just because we speak on it, people listening.
And we're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but shit happens. You know what I mean? Shit happens.
It goes down.
It definitely goes down. All right, yo. So last topic. I'm trying to figure out which one. Yo, so I've been thinking about this, man. Like, it made me write this down. Surviving failure and bouncing back. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize how hard that is when you put. I think a lot of the failures are based on you. They're based on how you perceive a failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it could have not been that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, most failures are obstacles.
Right. Get closer to the mic, sir. Thank you.
I ain't move.
I know.
Most failures is just obstacles, man. We just be overthinking, tripping. Man.
Right. They do. Most failures are obstacles you just bounce back from. I think I've had some small failures in life, but I try to.
Were they really failures though?
That's what I was about to say. I try to not have many of those. You know what I mean?
They don't really be failures. I say this, and I ain't trying to beat up on social media all day, but social media got people thinking everything is so damn easy, man.
They really do. Because
everybody posts their highlight reel, and I get it. You want to show people your rewards.
Right.
But even what we do in our podcasting, if people really seen, like when you upgrade equipment.
Yeah.
Or you change scenery.
Yeah.
Or behind the scenes conversations.
Right.
Or what you have to do within a day to be in the same room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we at a small scale. So you think even the bigger productions, let's say Gilbert Arenas or whatever. These guys are wealthy, but You got like 6 men in one room.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in that one room.
That's hard to do.
That's multiple cameras. That's multiple, and you need people behind the scenes. To
but their show is 3 hours. These guys talk for 3 hours.
3 hours.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's obvious they get paid well.
No, but they actually make it look flawless. Now I'm using them because I like the show.
Bro, I like how they got up the other show to just go outside and do the 2-on-2 they were supposed to do.
Oh yeah,
that shit was hard. Oh, and before we change topics, I'm gonna change it. I think the best on the Smoke, what's it, Smoke podcast? What's it called? All the Smoke podcast was the Reggie Miller one.
Think so?
Yes, that shit was fire.
My son hated that one.
I love that one.
He said Reggie Miller boring.
That shit was good to me, man. I love every bit of that podcast.
Hey,
that episode was fire to me. It was up there with the Vernon Maxwell episode for me.
Nah, Vernon Maxwell legendary.
You know what I mean? And then the best Mellow podcast was with J.R. Smith.
The best?
Yeah, that was one of the best podcast episodes from him to me. Because that J.R. Smith episode was fire. I guess it was bounced back off of Shump's episode. So
Shump
was good. It was real dope. So it was a bounce back off of the Shump episode because it was on that Knicks tape shit.
What made
background shit.
But what made J.R. Smith dope to me was the misunderstanding of what J.R. Smith was actually about.
Yes. Yep.
And him explaining how the media turned him into something and he never had a voice to explain his side. And it's crazy because he did come to the NBA at 17.
Yep. He was a kid.
You put him in these positions to answer all these questions, and he just wanted to learn right from wrong, and everybody they failed him.
Yeah.
They failed him. And it's crazy how him and Melo actually had that good relationship. And when you think about it, they played together in Denver. Then they played together with the Knicks. And Melo was checking him out when he was a young hooper.
Yeah, when he was still in high school.
And it's crazy how some of these players have been connected like for so long behind the scenes. But we don't know that because we didn't have social media back then. Like now, you know who's
for the most part.
Like Kay Cunningham and Jalen Green always been competitive with each other. Like I ain't gonna say they don't like each other, but they're competitive against each other.
Right.
J.R. Smith was dope though. I like it because he's actually cleared up any negative imagery they've had to him. Like he went to Carolina and played golf. Like, bro, that's different.
That's different, bro.
And he was good.
Yeah, he was actually a good golfer.
And then allegedly there's a rumor that the Phoenix Suns are considering him the coach. Like
that'd be fire.
What?
That'd be fire. In my book, I think that'd be fire.
Even if he asks, that's legendary that he even gets a chance. J.R. Smith?
Yeah.
Who's seen that coming?
Legendary chucker. Like he get it up.
His range was 30 feet.
Yo, he could hoop. Yo, he was.
If he was playing right now.
Yo, it was no denying how great he was. He was just like they had in the conversation. He just didn't have. He didn't have no one to sit him down and be like, "Yo, bro, I got you this." Like a coach. I'm not talking about players.
The league failed him.
Coach,
man. The league failed him.
I agree. But I think those podcasts, because it's like, yo, with the surviving failure piece, that's cool. I think that's some things that we even after the fact, I think we've discussed a multitude of times. But just thinking about the different episodes of pods that's been dropping lately with clearing the air about, like, I love when Steven Jackson apologized to Reggie Miller, and Reggie Miller almost cried and was like, you don't owe me an apology. Like, and then explaining to him, what he saw and what he thought. I thought that was fire. I thought that was super fire.
I thought it was funny. Reggie Miller said he loved John Starks. He just knew how to aggravate him. That shit was just funny to me, man, because it's like your friend you just pick on because you know you're going to spaz out.
Yeah.
John Starks probably heard that shit and said, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
That nigga said, I love John Starks, man. I just knew I could trigger him. Yo, that shit, it shouldn't have been as funny to me as it was because I thought about it.
Because he used to do it, bro, and we remember those days. But you know what's actually
crazy? What people didn't know back then, because we didn't have the information. John Starks was actually 6'1", and he played the two guard.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is?
Yes.
This dude used to guard Jordan.
Yeah.
And people talking about, well, Jordan used to cook him. Nigga, Jordan cooked everybody. What does that mean? And Reggie Miller's 6'7", and Starks used to guard him. Yo, son, that is phenomenal.
Yo, you forget how tall Reggie Miller is because you don't really see 6'7",
and Starks was 6'1". Yo, you know how crazy the league would go over a player like John Starks right now today?
Yeah.
He'll get paid $20 million just because he played defense. And now everybody chucks from three. They'll love his ass.
Right. And he played D.
No, because he was crazy.
Yep, he'd play defense.
He was legit crazy.
And he got buckets. He'll dunk on your ass too. He hit a couple buckets, man. John Stark wasn't a total slouch.
No, he wasn't.
He was
slouch,
a fuck up, but he wasn't a total slouch.
I mean, he had the freedom to fuck up.
Yeah.
He was a head case. But if you look at his upbringing, yo, bro, you trying to take food out of my mouth. We're going to fight.
Yeah.
I'm on this court. We're going to fight.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to be here, dog. I need to get to it.
The NBA missing that grit, man. It's that grit.
Yeah, grit and grind.
Every game, play like it's your last.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Out the Mud, though.
Out the Mud, the episode with Marc Gasol. Crazy.
I would have never guessed that, bro.
Bro, that shit was crazy. To hear Marc Gasol talk, I was like, and then I was watching clips, and then I was like, all right, let me go watch the episode.
I just started watching Monte Ellis. I didn't see the Marc Gasol.
You ain't watched the Marc Gasol? Bro, when you watch the Marc Gasol one, you gonna hit me, you gonna be like, yeah, that shit was pretty good, dog.
I kind of didn't like him because he won that DPOY award.
Right, yeah.
He wasn't even first team or second team when he won. I don't understand.
That should have went to Braun, but you know.
I don't care who. It couldn't have been him. You're not on the first team or the second team. But you got defensive player of the year? How?
You know what that is, man.
Who wife you laying down with?
Politics, baby. Politics as usual.
He got a sex tape on something.
But yo, that thing, yo, how Marc Gasol talked about when he went to Toronto and he had to play with them and different things, and like how his
career was over.
He thought
it was Toronto.
But he still played well. They needed him to play defense, and he said he thought about TA. What would TA do here? What would Zach Randolph do at this point? And even on the inside of his ring, he got grit and grind engraved on the inside of his ring because he was like, yo, I should have won one with my guys. Yes, I won one here, but I should have won one with my guys. And they were the reason why I was able to even do some of the things I've done. I thought that shit was fire.
So you like the show just because he gave them props?
Nah, not just because of that. It was a great interview. It was a great interview.
Okay.
I like Marc Gasol. I thought he was a very good player. I liked him over his brother.
What?
I liked him well over Powell.
So he trying to tell me he was a better player than Powell?
No.
Or you just like
I just liked his game over Powell. Yeah. No, he wasn't a better player than his big brother. His big brother was way better. I ain't gonna say way better, but his brother was significantly better.
So Marc Gasol should be in the Hall of Fame?
Nah.
Fuck it, let's put everybody in the Hall of Fame.
Nah.
Like, who cares? Everybody goes.
Nah, Mark shouldn't be in the Hall of
Everybody goes.
Fame. I don't even think Zach Randolph should be in there.
Zach Randolph's not going.
Nah.
So like Tony Allen's not going.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Tony Allen definitely go, but I don't think Tony Allen give a fuck. Where he came from, he don't care.
Well, I don't think not making the Hall of Fame takes away from you having a great career.
No. It ain't meant for everyone.
You know what I mean? A lot of players had great careers. You know, like Anthony Mason, rest in peace. He had a great career being from where he came from, but he's not going to Hall of Fame.
Mm-mm.
Charles Oakley probably never go. I mean, these guys had good careers. You can't let everybody go, man. God, ain't just because you started on a team for a few years, then it becomes a circus.
Right.
Now, I think it would be dope if teams, like the Cowboys have the Ring of Honor, if all teams had
Did
like,
that. Yeah.
all-time greats. I think it would be dope.
Not retiring the jersey, but all time.
Yeah,
but I
like
think Memphis does that. Memphis does that. They have all of them Marc Gasol, Powell.
I think that's dope.
Mark
Like when you
Ronaldo.
go to the arena or whatever. If you got a local museum, you have a Hornets exhibit where you would have Larry Johnson and Muggsy Bogues. You can go in there and see the highlights. And
you can't forget what's in there.
I think we dope. Lonzo Mourning and Baron Davis, the great, great
Mm-hmm.
Hornet player. I think that would be dope.
That'd be fire. Right now, Hornets is trash, bro.
It's gonna stay that way for a while. I think they got to get rid of LaMelo.
And do what?
They got to just try to build a team. I mean, LaMelo was just a one-man show. The team was ass. Sometimes you got to trade your best player, just get some prospects and build a team. You're not going to go nowhere with Melo. He's just going to keep being an all-star and keep making his highlights, getting bitches.
That's not his fault, though.
That's not a blank
He's keeping them niggas alive.
No, he's not. They're dead. Whether he's there or not, you're dead. So get some pieces, man.
So get rid of the best player to get some
you one
pieces.
of them guys. Because I'm saying you trade somebody, you act like it's an insult to him. It's business.
I think it is an insult, though.
All right, we can disagree. It's business, my nigga.
Yeah.
Why am I keeping this $150 million player when I can get 220 and 110 and then build from the draft? You're not going to build a team around LaMelo Ball.
They've never built from the draft.
Who never did?
The Hornets have never built from the draft.
Then the problem is the
plenty of
organization.
opportunity to build from the draft.
Then you know what I'm saying. The problem is the organization. LaMelo Ball is an all-star. Out of respect to him, you need to let him go somewhere we can play basketball.
Okay, that sounds better.
He's doing nothing. This nigga's just pulling up for 40 feet because y'all asked, what you going to say?
Right.
What you going to do, coach? Take me out?
They tried that, and he was like, then they was really getting routed, and it was like, yeah, everybody put the boy back in.
Yo, when you have an organization that's run that ass, yo, out of
The
respect
organizations
to,
ran terribly.
out of respect to an all-star player, you need to put him somewhere we can play basketball, yo. You wasting that man.
Wasting that man good years.
Yeah.
Good years.
He's a great talent. I'd like to see him play on a good team. Like
All right.
now, you can't even tell what kind of player he would be.
That sound better. I'm with you there.
It's him and the rest of them. No, because you thought my motive was something else. You making assumptions,
Because
man.
you do that.
Well, here you go with this.
You do that though.
Yo,
the
Shaq.
audience know you do that.
Bro, the worst thing in the world was somebody hits you with the you always do this or you always say that or this is what you always do. Those theories are so ass. And they aggravate me more than anything. This guy does this shit at least 5 times a year. You always say that. You always do that. That is bullshit. Nobody has a definitive pattern unless their thought process is
I think
so concrete.
one day I need to pull up. I need to go through the clips.
If I said it once or twice, that's not always. I don't have a concrete thought
Nigga,
process.
I ain't no female. It's always. That's just what it is.
You're not a
You know
female,
women
it's
do
always-
that.
That's why I get mad when you do it. See, now he's saying exactly what I'm feeling, and he don't even know he just did that. That's why I don't like that shit. That's what a woman do. You always do that, and you be sitting there like, huh? Got you thinking like, do I always
My
do
wife
that?
did that to me just the other
But you
day.
be thinking for a minute, do I always do that shit?
My wife did that to me the other day.
But you got to think about it though.
Yeah, I did. I know.
Then you get mad. But I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck wrong with her. Oh, bitch.
You want to say that so bad.
Nah, did you look around? Oh,
She didn't hear me. Did she?
yeah, right? Whew, that was close.
Yo, man. Let's go ahead and end this because we got a long day, man. Would you have anything you want to throw out there?
Always. Yo, when we first started this podcast, we had a slogan to make the uncomfortable conversations
It's
comfortable.
Yep.
What I'm going to say is, man, don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? In order to have a sustainable lifestyle of comfort, you're going to have to be uncomfortable for a certain period of time. I can't tell you how long that time is.
Right.
Nobody can say how long that time is. It's a process. But that process of being uncomfortable, by getting through that, that's going to lead you to a sustainable lifestyle of being comfortable. So don't be afraid of the uncomfortable life to have a sustainable comfort lifestyle.
All right, there we go. This is the Black Male Podcast. TS is who I am.
Tre-Dot is who I am. Love Mad is the squad.
We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.